MuseScript here, and I'm making this video because I have reached 9,000 subscribers! Only 1k away from 5 digits now. Thanks to every single one of you for getting me to this goal. In celebration of reaching 9k, I figured I would go through memory lane and count down my top 9 seasons of MLP FIM. I'll be marking them based on the amount of episodes I had genuine enjoyment watching. Granted, this is just my opinion, and if you have your own order of seasons from least to most favourite, be sure to leave it in the comments. But without further ado, here are my top 9 seasons from least favourite to most favourite.
Make it stop! Oh, make it stop!
So, in my personal bottom of the list, I've put Season 6 down. Granted, there were a few episodes that stood out as favourites of mine, such as Subtle Row Review, The Gift of Maud Pie, and A Hearth-Warming Tale, but most of the episodes in this season were not too great. Too many to name. Most of them make me cringe at times. The premiere was alright, but I absolutely did not like the finale. Sure, it was cool seeing Chrysalis return, but for some reason I did not like the heroes trapped in those cocoons. It was way too unsettling for me. I'm getting flashbacks. Some of them are blinking in there. Are they able to breathe? Yeah, the whole situation was too uncomfortable for me. Overall, Season 6 could have been so much better, especially since it was the season focused on properly redeeming Starlight Glimmer. A lot of the time, I just wanted to yell at the screen or look away from some of the cringe. Heck, I was looking forward to Newbie Dash, but I do feel that it should have been executed way better in so many ways. Like, just let Spitfire know normally that you're bothered by being called Rainbow Crash and she would understand. Overall, there are way too many episodes to facepalm at. Sorry, not sorry, Season 6.
Awful, just awful.
Okay, so Season 6 was the only truly bad season. Now we go to the seasons I found more meh. Season 8 was the season released after the theatrical movie, so there was quite a bit of lore to unpack, such as the hippogriffs. Man, they built the train station to Mount Eris pretty quickly, considering how far they would have had to go by hoof. In this season, we also get introduced to the Young Six. They're actually a pretty cool cast of characters, and the episodes that they star in are actually pretty good. I would say that this would be more about them than the main 6 at this point, but we do still have a few episodes about the main 6 in this season as teachers. How do these 6 mares even have time to be teachers though? Apart from saving the world countless times, they also have to tackle their own jobs. Rarity has like 3 boutiques to run. If I'm going to be honest, this arc with them as teachers is, well, not that interesting. I do give this season credit for introducing us to the Kirans. They have such adorable designs, so I'm sad that we don't see more of them in later episodes. I also give this season credit for being the first one to be nutshellified by my boy Roundtrip. Since there were quite a few episodes that could be critiqued, why not do it with stick ponies?
Just go take a nature walk. You would never make a competition out of that.
Yeah, it's not like we've ever done that exact thing before.
Yeah, especially not in Season 1 Episode 13 or anything.
My thoughts exactly. And why, oh why, did we have an episode focused on Spike's dad? That was just... why? You gave the audience hope, and then you thrash it to the ground. Why? Season 8 also gives us Cozy Glow, who becomes the main villain at the end of the season. I find it very ironic that they give some villains a second chance, then throw this child in Tartarus. She's a child! Where are her parents? How did she become pen pals with Tyrek? We're never really given a backstory for her. Well, not in the show at least. I don't know. I just found past villains to be more threatening than her. She's like Darla Dimple, but way more annoying at times. The premiere and finale were okay, but they didn't really stand out too much to me.
Let's just say that if I could choose, I probably wouldn't do it that way again.
Season 9. This season was going all out to finish off the series, though some episodes of the final season definitely forgot some aspects earlier seasons already pointed out. There's an episode where Rainbow isn't enthusiastic about leading the cheer squad when back in Season 1 she was enthusiastic about giving Fluttershy cheering lessons, AK Yearling is worried about ponies discovering she's daring do, even though Season 7 already had that secret out, thanks to the published Friendship Journal. The CMC were apparently not allowed to go on a train by themselves, even though they already did that in Season 3. Heck, even earlier in Season 9, they went on a train by themselves to visit Skooloo without any problems. So yeah, quite a few things to nitpick here. But some other episodes were really well executed, such as Sparkles 7, aka the 200th episode, Frenemies, The Last Laugh, and The Big Mac Question. Those got some laughs out of me. What makes this season somewhat better than the previous two is that the premiere was actually pretty good. It got everyone, including myself, hyped for Grogar, only to be disappointed by the ending when it was revealed to be Discord the whole time, bringing back the villains of Equestria to test everyone. That kind of ruined it for me. Take notes, guys. Hexa is not Discord in disguise this time. Though that two-parter did inspire The Last Adventure by Ivica and got him redeemed somewhat, even when it wasn't properly in canon. The very last episode, with Twilight saying goodbye to her friends, actually was a very good ending for the show shortly after the 9th anniversary. If only there was a season 10, it would have ended exactly 10 years ago on the 10th of October 2020. That would have been perfect. But at the end of the day, 9 is enough.
It could be better.
Moving up from meh to average, here is Season 1, the very first season of the show. It captivated audiences by giving a cliffhanger at the end of the very first episode. But why I've put the season here isn't because it's particularly bad, rather it seems a bit tamer than future seasons. Most of the time it's getting to know each of the characters, and it has more slice of life episodes than the other seasons. It even has the most slice of life finale. There's no bad guy to take down, they're just going to the gala. Which, granted, is what Season 1 was leading towards anyways. I guess the show was just starting out and was still targeted towards a very young demographic. I also have to point out how funny it is that Applejack's voice is so much higher in the beginning, almost the same pitch as Rainbow Dash.
Well, how'd it do, Miss Twilight? A pleasure making your acquaintance.
I did really like the Cutie Mark Chronicles, since it pretty much proved the fact that Rainbow was the best pony. I mean, help each of her friends get their cutie marks. I found that very sweet. Who knew that cute episode would be a huge plot point 5 years later? I'll get to that later on.
It's nice.
From this point on, the seasons shown here have more good episodes than bad. Season 4 was the very first season I got introduced to, specifically episodes in early 2014. Unlike the other seasons, there appears to be 2 main continuous plots in this season. The main 6 tackling obstacles in their own elements to open the box, and the Equestria games. Not sure why they went with 2 continuous plots for this season, but I guess they just wanted to make it a bit more epic than the seasons before. And I do kind of applaud them for that effort, even when it seems to be juggling those 2 things at times. Some episodes really stood out to me, like Flight to the Finish, Pinkie Pride, Castlemania, and Tradia, but others like Some Pony to Watch Over Me, Philly Vanilli, and Simple Ways might have done a bit better. I didn't like the premiere for many reasons. I did like Luna's backstory of how she got banished to the moon, but that's pretty much the only good point for me. I need a deep breath for this next part. This whole premiere made me question why Twilight was made a princess in the first place, when her friends now see her as the next in line who can't fend for herself and needs to be protected whilst they go to the real danger, despite Twilight being the only one to know how to literally save everyone. Right. Sorry. Had to get that off my chest. Anyways, despite the premiere not being that great, and my only reason for not putting this season higher, the finale is absolutely amazing and remains my second favourite finale 2-parter. That finale gave us Tyrek, one of the most terrifying and OP villains in the show, plus an epic battle between him and Twilight. Season 4 might not have started out well, but afterwards, it does improve quite a lot. It has some amazing rewatchable episodes that are still fun to watch today. It was the last season to air on the Hub before the move to Discovery Family in 2015, and what a way to end it off.
Great. Just great.
We now come to the season before Twilight became an alicorn, Season 3. Being the shortest season of the show with only 13 episodes, this season had a mixture of good and bad episodes. The premiere two-parter is actually one of my favorites from the entire show. I just like Sombra's voice in his debut episode rather than Season 9. He's also made to be a threatening villain, giving the Crystal Ponies PTSD from his reign. There are some other great episodes in Season 3 like Sleepless in Ponyville, Keep Calm and Flutter On, and of course Games Ponies Play. But there are also some meh episodes like Spike at Your Service and Apple Family Reunion. One thing that did bug me about this season though was the finale. I do feel it was rushed a bit and could have panned out much better as a two-parter, though I do understand the time constraint because they were working on Equestria Girls. I just feel the finale throws us into chaos a bit. Overall though, Season 3 is pretty decent to me.
It's beautiful.
We now come to the top 3. The bronze medal goes to Season 7. This was the season that came out when I had started my channel. Unlike the season before, this season really stepped up in quality episodes. Perfect Pair answers the question on the whereabouts of Applejack's parents and actually gives a grim plot point with Grandpa leaving his daughter, unaware that he would never see her again due to her and Bright Mag passing away. My theory is still that they were attacked by Timberwolves, but geez, that confirms that they are dead one way or another. Other episodes like A Royal Problem, Discordant Harmony, and Campfire Tales are also pretty cool episodes to watch. The overarching plot for this season are the 6 pillars that get introduced in various episodes, taking the form of various ancient legends, only to be the main focus of the finale, Shadowplay. I actually didn't catch on that these episodes would build up to that at first, but I was pleasantly surprised. Season 7 also became the only season to not have a two-parter premiere, which was fine. The first 2 episodes are fun to watch. What about the finale two-parter though? Shadowplay is quite the epic finale where it introduces us to the Shadow Pony and Starswell the Bearded. A lot of fans were happy to finally see him in show canon, despite being a jerk at first. I couldn't actually pinpoint too many episodes from this season I truly disliked or cringed at. Well, maybe besides Hard to Say Anything, Honest Apple, and Once Upon a Zeppelin. Other than that, this season shows how far we've come since the very first season.
Perfect.
The silver medal goes to Season 2. Things really step up from here. We're introduced to Discord and Queen Chrysalis and her changelings. The only new villains to make their debut in the same season, but man do they shine in their debut two-parters so much. The premiere and finale were both equally good for Season 2. Well, maybe except part 1 of the finale. That was just too mean-spirited. Part 2, however, makes up for it with the introduction of Queen Chrysalis and the concept of changelings literally transforming into anything. Truly a creative threat for the main heroes. Do I also need to mention the epic villain duet Chrysalis has with Cadence? That became one of my favorite villain songs in the show next to Open Up Your Eyes from the movie. Season 2 also has a lot of memorable episodes. I mean, who could forget Lesson 0, Lunar Eclipse, or Mystery on the Friendship Express as a few examples. This was also the season that got other characters to write to Princess Celestia rather than Twilight writing all of them, which I thought was a good change of pace. This could mean that other characters would shine more even without Twilight present in a single episode. Season 2 didn't actually have too many bad episodes, though Ponyville Confidential was my least favourite from Season 2, followed by Putting Your Hoof Down. Despite that, this season remains the strongest out of the first 3 seasons in my opinion, though it can't top my number 1. And my favourite season of MLP FIM, my gold medal, goes to Season 5, aka the season that aired when I joined the fandom, 11 months after the ending of the last season. I think the reason why this is my favourite season out of the 9 due to the many episodes I was hyped about at the time, most notably Thanks for the Memories. But not only that, the 100th episode Slice of Life, Crusaders of the Lost Mark, Amending Fences, Do Princess's Dream of Magic Sheep, Rarity Investigates, the premiere, and finale were also amazing episodes to watch. For crying out loud, the promos for the premiere had an epic trailer voice. Who wouldn't be hyped for that?
Season 5, coming spring 2015.
The introduction to the map sending everyone on friendship missions was pretty cool too, with the running gag of Twilight not being invited to any one of them. The premiere was not too bad actually. Star Glimmer was actually quite a threatening and powerful unicorn if she's able of stealing cutie marks, but the creme de la creme is Cutie Remark, aka the finale. That finale two-parter is my absolute favourite MLP finale of all time. Who knew that stopping Rainbow from performing the Sonic Rain Boom, therefore not getting the elements of harmony to be united, would cause so many alternate timelines where the villains take over in their own ways? There's so much potential for that, and I absolutely love how each of the different timelines are presented. I also love how the fate of Equestria lies on one filly performing an old mare's tail trick. Told you I'd get back to that later. This episode actually inspired the premise for the Color Goddess when I was coming up with a theory about the Sonic Rainbow's origins. This season was also the first to experiment with facial expressions more, a trend which would show itself in the seasons afterwards. My only episode I didn't really like was What About Discord? I used to really hate that episode until I just found it meh many years later, like Princess Spike and Appaloosa's Most Wanted. Other than that though, Season 5 has a lot of awesome episodes. It really went above and beyond to showcase the things the show was capable of. It truly succeeded in that for the most part, and that's why it's my #1 season of the show. Too bad Season 6 followed immediately afterwards. Fail! So thank you all for watching my 9K subscriber special. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while after I rewatched all the episodes again. If you have a personal worst or best season of MLP, feel free to put it down in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys thought. Don't forget to subscribe to me if you haven't already so you can get me up to 10K. I'll have something really special planned for that when I get there. But for now, I'll end the video. Bye! This is MuseScript's signing out.